You go see why she's freaking out.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Monday night call. I see everyone just kind of popping on and the numbers going up. I wanted to just hop in here and introduce our speakers tonight. So we are super excited to hear from Pamela Healy, Michelle, and Holly. They are our speakers tonight. So I hope that all of you guys are on. We're kind of just like trying to roll with this. So here's going to be the gist. I cannot see if you guys are all
Por
on.
Instagram, mami. Pero es el que tú ves en el de Lina Limpa Fit.
Please mute yourself. So remember that. Mute yourself as you hop
Todo
on.
lo que yo pongo en Instagram, man, es lo que ves en
All right. Can you guys hear me? Hey, everybody. Okay. So make sure that if you're hopping on to mute yourselves, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So ladies who are speaking, if you guys can just make sure that you are going in order of your picture. I feel like that would be the best. So that way you can just flow. We're going to have about 10 minutes for each speaker. And if you have questions, I would just pop them in the comments and then they can kind of read through after they are finished speaking, if that makes sense. So, Pamela, if you are on, all you have to do is unmute yourself and then you can go ahead and kick it off tonight.
All righty, can you hear me?
Yeah, girl, you're good.
Oh goodness. All right, here we go, guys. So fair warning, first call ever. I have my notes. Here we go. So I'm Pamela Healy. I first started coaching in February of 2019, and I saw my coach's story. It was a sponsored ad, and I just crept on her page, and I was like, all right, I want her income, and I want her happiness, and her abs too. Like, how do I do that? So shout out to Jen for having that cute little sponsored ad. And so, yeah, I started in February, and then I started hitting Success Club like every couple of months. Pretty sure like my first or second month I hit Emerald because she was like, hey, go Emerald. And I was like, all right, I did it. So did that. And then when I first started, I was obsessed with listening to like all of her YouTube videos and just learning everything. And so I went from hers to like Ashley Field Dyson to Kate Schultes, like anyone and everyone. I was listening because I wanted to learn. I was like, hey, that's what I'm going to do. So the issue with that was I didn't take any action. I was learning all these things, but I wasn't doing anything about it. So in the fall, Jen asked me if I wanted to do like a rush, like an accountability group. So I was like, all right, cool. So I get in here and I learn all the training, but I didn't do anything about it. And so at that point, I realized like my goal when I originally started in February was that I wanted to do this full time. And my actions weren't like doing full-time things. I was doing the fun things like social media. I was hopping on team calls. I was doing my workouts. But what I wasn't doing is what you don't see those top coaches doing. You don't often see them showing their invites, their follow-ups, expanding my network, the dirty work, but that's what makes your business grow forward. So really, I just needed to take action and take control of my business. So inevitably, this January,
and I made sure to
like,
take care of the house and your kids today.
You're flipping out
I'm gonna
because the
do
fucking mute button
And
is bottom
so
left corner
I
selected.
told myself, that's the last time I'm going to do it. I'm really committed in my coaching work, and I'm going to do the behind the scenes things that it takes to get there. So I didn't go to bed every night without texting my accountability buddies. So if you don't have one, go find one, or group looks like whatever your schedule looks like, do that. And then let's see. Yeah, so on the last day, I had all of my ducks in a row. I had 4 here, and I had 4 here. I had my boyfriend Josh's account to Emerald, but I didn't have an Emerald on my left side. So on the very last day, it ironically was my Coach 1 year anniversary. It was February 12th, and Holly Hilliard hops on her final training pump-up call. And I love her for this. She probably doesn't even realize that I was watching, but she goes, don't do this again to yourself if you've been in a group like this before. If you need an Emerald to pop or a coach to get one more person, that's on you. So it will be your fault tomorrow morning if you wake up a diamond or not. So you can do this, you're capable, and just do it. So I was like, oh my God, she's speaking to me. She said, it's my fault if I don't do it. And I knew that, but sometimes it helps to hear from another coach that, hey, this is your responsibility. It's your business. So you can't wait on other people to hit your goals for you. And so naturally, I cried in the kitchen, had a little pity party. And then Josh was like, what are you going to do? And so I realized I could help one of my discount coaches on my left side. She'd been saying she got some friends who want to sign up. So we figured out, we did it together. And now really in my team, it's the assumption that you can do it within 24 hours that week because it's Emerald. You got friends, you can do this, and accountability is everything. So let's see, told y'all I have my notes. And so, yeah, so like it was such a rush to realize how capable I was, like until I did it. So really until you do something and that you see that you can do it and you're capable, like y'all, you can hit like rings, they don't matter. Like you can do it. You can just hit all of them. So it was so cool to do that. And so I'm a note taker. I like it when people say 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got this for you. Number 1, don't soak up the information. Take some action, however big or small that looks like. So just do it. Like if you're going to hop on these calls weekly, do something about it. If they say they send 3 invites before their workout in the morning, or they do their follows this way, try it out, see what works for you. And then number 2, don't sit on the sidelines and watch others achieve the goal that you wanted because you were fully capable and it will be your fault if you don't. Your fault. I love that because that's like my driver for like my Enneagram 3. And then number 3, do the dirty work. Don't lay your head down without inviting or checking in with your accountability buddy or your upline. Shoot, send me. y'all can DM me a picture of you in your tracker if you really need to. I promise, like I won't mind and I will actually like clap for you. And then number 4, This is a quote I heard in a podcast. The long road is not the wrong road. So I was listening to like Jennifer Lee Dooley. I don't know if y'all listened to her or not, but it was her and another girl talking about their businesses and how it kind of like ebb and flow. And if this isn't a season for you guys that you're supposed to be in because you're being pulled in different directions or whatever, that's okay. Do your best, but still take little action that will lead to bigger results later on because you never gave up. So it's kind of like when coaches talk about the little pebble into the jar every day. That's what I'm talking about. Even if you send a couple invites or you expand your following just a little bit, like just do it, because the compound effect really works. I'm telling you, because you can ask Jen, when I'm consistent, I am unstoppable. But if I'm here and there coaching, it doesn't work. So if you listen to these calls every week and you don't take a piece here and there from other coaches who are where you want to be, then you're doing yourself a disservice. I'm just going to be honest. And so really my call to action for you tonight is to send a few invites tonight, because you never know who's waiting to hear from you and to receive that gift that you have to offer, because it is a gift that we have to offer. So I know I spoke really fast, but that's all I have, guys. And I'm muting myself. Bye.
All right. So, hey guys, I'm Haley. I'm so excited to be on here with y'all tonight. And I guess it's cool for me to go ahead and get started. We'll just go one after the other. So I love what Pamela said. Sorry, I do it wrong every time. But I love what she said about like just reaching your goals. And something that stuck out to me that really pushed me to the next level was when we were asked by another top coach one time when I was pushing for diamond the first time, because I made the mistake of dropping. I was asked, why are you not at diamond? No, but like, why are you not reaching your goals? Why? I want you to sit down right now and write that answer on a piece of paper. If you have a goal and you have not set a deadline or whatever the case may be there, if you have a goal and you have not reached that goal yet, I want you to answer the question why right here in this moment. And while you think about that, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to open my little, I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can. I'm going to share my screen with you guys so that, I don't know, I just work better with a little bit of presentation here. So let me pull this up. I guess just give me a thumbs up if you can see. Can everybody see? Okay, awesome. All right, so I just want to talk to y'all. That is not where we're at. Hold on. About waking up and doing the work. Just wake up and do the work. That is that simple, okay? If you want to stop playing small and you want to start growing a big business, you got to stop playing. Stop playing like this is house or something like that. You got to wake up, realize the reality, and put in the work to reach your goals, okay? So here's what that looks like. To stop playing small, you have to stop telling yourself that you don't have what it takes to do the work, okay? You have to stop telling yourself that you don't have what it takes to reach the goal that you want to reach. You have to stop doing the bare minimum. So like Pamela said, if you're only sending those 2 to 3 invites a day, guys, and it's not working, you got to grow. You got to do more, okay? Stop resisting advice from your leaders when they're telling you send a minimum of 10 invites a day or send a minimum of 20 invites a day. Stop doing the same things that are not working, okay? So if you want to stop playing small, you got to stop doing all of those things right there, because you do have what it takes. You can do more, and you can absolutely apply what you learn. Just like she was saying, if you're just sitting there soaking it all in like a sponge and you are not squeezing that out into other people to grow your business, you're just going to sit there and get stale and musty in this business and go nowhere, okay? So you've got to stop telling yourself you don't have what it takes. Stop doing the minimum and stop resisting advice from your leaders. I can't tell you how many times somebody has been stuck in a place and reaching their goals, and I'm like, well, are you doing this? No, I haven't done that yet. Well, have you done this? No, I haven't done that. Okay, well, stop complaining about not reaching your goals if you're not going to put in that work, okay? So apply what you're learning and put in the work. I'm going to make sure there's no questions coming in the chat really quick. Okay. All right, just making sure. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one here. All right, I want you to focus on the big picture and a bigger business, okay? There is a bigger picture for you to realize how to grow a bigger business. And I want you to think about your big picture. So before the end of tonight, you can do this while I'm talking if you'd like, and if you feel like you can focus. But if you're ADD like me, I always write these things down and then do it right after a call. My big picture consists of 3 specific things. I have a vision. I have to focus on the people that I'm trying to connect to. And I have to be prepared to change if I want to see that bigger picture and if I want to make those small changes over time to make it to that big picture. So let's talk vision really quick. Does your vision scare you? Do you write it down? And are you looking at that vision every single day? Because if you want to grow a bigger business, you've got to see the big picture of your vision. What do you want? And does it literally, my vision makes me want to throw up every single time I look at it, because I'm like, I know I can't do it on my own. I have to pray for God to help me, because I'm like, if I don't do the work, I'm not going to hit it. Okay. I'm not going to see that vision come to light. Do you write it down? If I don't write it down and it's not right here in my face somewhere where I can see it every single day, I'm not going to hustle for that. And are you looking at it every day? People. This business is so focused on people and changing their lives, y'all. So are you adding value to the people that you are connecting with? And are you focusing on people pleasing, or are you focusing on people leading? Are you leading them or pleasing them? Because there's a big difference there, okay? If you are a leader, you will gain followers, but you'll also gain other leaders in this business. So if you want to grow your business, you got to start leading people, not just trying to please them, okay? And that there's a big difference in posting content for your audience. That's not people pleasing. That is feeding them. That is leading them by saying, hey, like, I care about you and I want what's best for you. So leading and speaking to your audience sometimes means you might be speaking some tough love over them too. Okay. So are you focused on people pleasing or people leading? And let's talk about change really quick. You got to be prepared to change in this business. Okay. Nothing good ever came out of a comfort zone for me. Okay. Every time I have reached a milestone in this business and grown, whether it's my income or my mindset or whatever the case may be, it's because I got out of my comfort zone. Like I said, when I look at my vision, it makes me want to throw up because I'm so scared about it. But I know if I don't do the work, I'm not going to reach it. I know I have to change my mindset. I have to change my behaviors and act like a big business owner if I want to be a big business owner. So do you believe, the last thing about change is, do you believe that change is inevitable for growth? Or do you believe that it's essential for growth? And I got this from John Maxwell. And if you don't read his books, you should. This is from his Leadership book. It's so good. I'm doing his Mentor 101 right now. And he says, the person who believes change is essential is proactive and thinks, I will make a change happen so that our team can improve. I want you to see that statement again. I will make a change happen so that our team can improve. This change in you affects your entire team, okay? So when you reach the next level, you're taking your team with you to that next level, and then you're going to keep feeding off of that momentum, okay? So let's move on, because I'm trying to keep this quick and I get fired up and talk way too much. So I want to talk to you about what happened in my business when I shifted from playing small and going big. It shifted in my income. So I think my first paycheck, y'all, was my first month's income was $67. My first paycheck was $7, okay? $7. I could have let that hold me back and go ahead and put up a wall and say, this business is not for me. I only made $7. No, if you don't appreciate $7, you're not going to appreciate $7 million. So you've got to shift your perspective there too, okay? You want to see a shift in your income, you got to take the small things and you got to grow it, all right? So $67 my first month. Guys, I just made $2,800 in 1 month because I shifted. I'm going to tell you how in just a second. I made a shift in my connections. I made a shift in my followers. I made a shift in the value of my conversations and a shift in my focus. But how? Mindset. Okay. And I put the period in the middle on purpose. You have to have your mind set on growing, getting out of your comfort zone, and hear me loud and proud when I say believing in yourself. Okay. You're not going to get anywhere without believing that you can. All right. There's no secret to that. You just got to set your mind to do the work, believe you can, and make it happen. All right. And how can you shift that perspective? So I used to think nobody's responding to my invites. Like, I'm just not made for this business. Like, this is just, everything's going wrong. My share cart's not working. This is not working, blah, blah, blah. I can't figure out my technology. Okay. That's not the mindset to have. You can say, all this is happening to me, nobody's responding, or, hey, all of this is happening for me. I'm literally planting seeds of opportunity and everything, and I'll get to that in just a second. But like, are you seeing things as happening to you in this business, or are you seeing things that's happening for you in this business? Because you can learn from every single person that ghosts you. You can learn from every single person that says no. Like, you don't have to take no's so personally, okay? That is a no that's happening for you to say, hey, I'm not going to let their limited belief stop me from moving forward, okay? Now shift your mindset. If you're the type of person who says, I don't have what it takes, you need to shift that right now to say, I have every resource I need to grow my business, because you do. I don't know whose team all of you are on. There's 500 people on this call, which makes me also want to throw up. That's a lot of people. But literally, guys, you are handed every single resource on these team calls, in your team page. Your coach probably emails you things in your group. If you want it, just do it, y'all. Like, I've been invited to so many group chats, and the only way to grow is to engage in that. So if I'm not utilizing those resources, I can't expect to grow. So you have every resource you need. Like Pamela was saying, use it. Use that resource, okay? Act on it. All right. You can say they don't care about your invite, or you can say you just planted a seed of opportunity, okay? Somebody not responding to you, somebody saying they're not interested, does not mean they don't care, okay? You just planted a seed of opportunity to change their life. That is up to them to accept that opportunity and walk through that open door. That's not up to you to close that door. You open it, they get to choose if they get to walk through it or close it, okay? And I can promise you, I don't know how many times a coach has told you this, but I will tell you it, whether it's the 100th time or the first time. If you show up and do your invites anyways, even when it's not easy, I promise that will come around and you'll see that compound effect. And then lastly, I want to say personal development, all caps, exclamation points, personal development. I asked somebody the other day, and I don't even know if she's on this call, but I won't call her out. It's a friend of mine on this team. And I asked her, I said, are you doing PD? And she said, no. And she knew right then and there. She was like, I know, I need to be doing it. Guys, if you're not doing personal development, get you a personal development book. Ask your coach, hey, here's where I struggle. Here's where I need to grow. What do you recommend me reading? And honestly, the best book for me was Battlefield of the Mind. Exactly why I have this slide right here. It shifted my mindset to stop being a victim and stop thinking everybody didn't believe in me, and start just believing in myself and saying, hey, I know I'm made for more, so I'm gonna hustle like I am. And that's when I saw the shift. Jen, my coach, she literally asked me the other day, and I heard it in her voice, over a voice message. She said, what changed? Just like that. And I will never forget the way it felt hearing her, because you could see I was shocked and she was shocked to see that shift. And it's all in your mindset. So here's my final note to you before we pass it on. If you want to catch the big fish, you can't stay on the dock, okay? I don't know if any of you are fishermen or fishermen, whatever. I don't know if any of y'all like to fish. I like to fish. I came from a family, grew up fishing. But I want to tell you something. You can't just stay on the dock with your little fishing pole if you want to catch the best fish in the water. You might catch some little brim right there, okay? But if you want to go out and get some good quality fish, you got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to jump in a bigger boat. You got to go out to the deep sea. You got to dig a little deeper, and you got to get the best quality out there, okay? That means getting on somebody else's bigger boat. Surround yourself with the bigger fish if you want to catch something bigger, okay? So that's my final note. That is all I have for you. So let me turn this off and pass it on.
Okay, so I do not have a cute Southern accent like the other two, but I do have a drink because early Cinco de Mayo, bitches. Okay, so I will take a sip to the 500 people on this call. I'm so excited for tonight. I am going to go off of what Haley just talked about, and I am so much more of a tough love person to not my team because I am a 2 on the Enneagram and I just love to love, love, love. So for me to be a hard ass is extremely hard for me, but not a lot of you guys on here aren't my coaches, so I get to be mean. So this is great. So my name is Michelle. I have been coaching for 2.5 years. Before coaching, my life looked completely different than what you see today. I was almost 40 pounds heavier. I was in an abusive marriage. I was working 50 to 60 hours as a registered nurse full time. And literally my life felt like it was in shambles. So really tonight, my story is going to be about how you need to draw a line within your business if you are going to say that you are going to do the things that you're going to do. And we're just going to talk a little bit about that throughout my story. So 2.5 years ago, I was going through the worst depression of my life because of my relationship and me working as a full-time nurse. I would literally come home from a night shift and I would crack open a Coors Light and I would drink it in the shower because that's how I coped with having people die in front of you and then you go home and act like life is normal. And I remember one night I was scrolling on social media and I seen my coach put up a post in her cell block basement about how she was taking selfies with her dog and she was getting paid to do it and she was like living her best life. And I looked at that and I didn't like that message or that post. I didn't reach out to her, nothing. All I did was look at that and say, you know, why am I not doing that? So I put up a post on my timeline. Again, I didn't like or comment any of that. And she, by the grace of God, seen that post and she cold messaged me and was like, hey girl, I seen your post and I literally LOL'd. There's so much more into coaching, but you could totally do it. And the nurse in me, I was like, ooh, I was always a gym rat. I was like, I don't know about sweating in my own carpet. Like, that's kind of disgusting. I'm not for that, but like, what is there? Like, what more is there? And so her and I talked a little bit back and forth, and then I ended up ghosting her. Literally the next day at work, I had a girl come up to me and said, hey, I seen your post on Facebook and I'm going to meet this girl, Ashley. She's a Beachbody coach and we're going to go out to lunch and you should come with us because I think you'd be really good at coaching. Again, another warm, coldish invite to me. The 40-pound heavier Michelle was like, if that girl is buying me lunch, my ass will be there. And I went to lunch the next week. And Ashley had this belief in herself that was contagious. And it's the only word I can think of. She breathed belief in this business that I never knew even existed. She had this big dream of being the superstar diamond team and 6-figure earner and all of these things. And I was like, I literally don't care what you're doing. I want to be as happy as you are. So sign me up. I went home that night. I signed up with an 80-day challenge pack. She had me sign up under the friend from work and I started my journey day one. I started 21 Day Fix and I said, okay, Missy, you are going to not drink. You are going to follow this nutrition plan. You are going to get results and you're going to see what this business can do for your life. In 21 days, I lost 10 pounds. I felt the best I ever had. I was completely sober because I was not binge drinking. And I remember on the 21st day, it was a Tuesday, and I finished that last workout and I just started bawling my eyes out. And this is the one time that I will swear in this. I literally was looking at myself in a mirror and I looked around at my life and I was like, your life is fucked up. And what are you doing about it? And I cried my eyes out. I got up and lived my life that Tuesday. On Wednesday, I called my girlfriend and I said, I need you to come help me pack up my stuff. I'm moving out. I'm leaving my husband because of X, Y, and Z. Can you help me find an apartment? I need to find an apartment right now. She came over at 8 o'clock in the morning. I packed up my life and I found an apartment within 12 hours and I moved in. I didn't tell my parents what was happening. They had no idea. I moved into an apartment by myself. I've never lived by myself before. and I started a new nursing job. And oh, by the way, I had started this business. So the first 6 months in my business, I was crushing it, hitting Success Club 20, 30, literally living my best life with this business, focusing on myself, keeping my blinders on. I had no idea who top coaches were. They were non-existent in my world. All I know is that my then coach from work quit, and Ashley adopted me, again, by the grace of God. And she said, Michelle, if you want to be successful, you're going to do the 4 vital behaviors. And so that's what I did. Every single day, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not kidding you. I sent 150 invites a day. I had only about 800 followers on Instagram. I didn't know what this business had in store for me to this day, but I just knew I wanted other people that were like the other Michelles of this world to feel as great as I did. And so I worked from 4 till 8 a.m. and then I would go to work as a nurse for my new job. I did this for 6 months and I was crushing it. I hit diamond. I was about to start 1 star when Ashley's business really took off. And there's obviously a ton of top coaches on here, right? So I feel like a lot of you can relate. They start signing other business builders, right? And so I was seeing all of these other coaches that Ashley was signing, and they were like hitting diamond way faster than I was. And then they were recruiting coaches, and then other girls were hitting 1 star faster than I was. And I started to stop looking forward. I started looking to the side, and I started thinking, well, what are they doing that I'm not? And I will tell you, if you start comparing yourself in this business, it will steal the joy right underneath from your feet. And that's what it did. So so that was August of 2017 till January of 2018, I was loving my business. In January, I started comparing myself. I ended up moving to North Carolina. I lived with the second discount coach that I ever signed up. And from June of 2018 to August of 2018, I was literally being a jackass. I was lying that I was doing invites because they don't work and nobody was signing up with me. And where are the business builders? Like, right? Have you said that before? Because I was that person. At one point, I literally had Ashley hang up on me because I was so negative, because I was too busy worried about what Sally's cat's mom was doing on a Tuesday instead of worrying about my business. I no longer was following a nutrition plan. I gained 15 pounds back. I was showing up on social media like, look at my portion control containers. And then the second I got off of it, and Tabitha is on this call to attest to this, I would literally like take out the big red bottle of wine and glug, 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 because this business isn't for me, because it doesn't work, right? So the end of August of 2018, I looked at Tabitha one day and I said, and she had been doing the workouts with me and all of the things. I said, you know, I don't think that this business is for me. I think I'm going to turn in my coach cancellation form. I pulled it up and she's like, well, like, wait, like, don't do that. Like, don't just quit. Just wait a second. We were in a wedding the next week. She said, wait till we come back from the wedding and then we'll decide, like, if you want to quit or not. And I'm like, okay. So we went to the wedding and I met my now boyfriend. And I had been single for over a year at that point. I had already like been in the divorce process. And he had actually lost 115 pounds at home. And he was like, well, what's this Beachbody thing? Like, what, like, I heard you do that. What is it? And as I was speaking out loud, did I hear the glimpse of hope within the back of my brain that still sat there? And instead of doing anything about it, just like Haley was talking about action, right? I still had my thumb up my ass and I was being an idiot for the next 4 months into January of 2019 when Ashley said, I'm hosting a diamond retreat in Disney. And I said, oh shit, I got to get my diamond back, right? Because I love like in-person stuff. So I raced to get my diamond back. Went to the retreat and Brittany Leggett was there. And I have been dying at that point to like get a hold of her, to pick her brain about, you know, I was travel nursing. I was making a 6-figure income. I had all of the money, but I was miserable, right? So I pulled her to the side at the pool and I'm like, listen, Brittany, how do I, like, what am I doing to like how can I quit my job? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Oops, I set a timer for 10 minutes and I'm over, but I'm going to take 2 more minutes. And she's like, you know, when I quit my job as a nurse, I was making X amount of money a week and I put my back up against the wall. And she's like, it's time for you to do that. She's like, she literally pointed her finger at me. And Brittany's like such a lover, right? But she's pointing her finger at me. She's like, you need to put your back up against the wall because you're complacent with your life. She said, I put my back up against the wall. It's time for you to do the same. And I'm like, okay, the next time you see me, I will not be a diamond coach. And she gave me the biggest hug in the world and she walked away. And I looked at my girlfriend who was there and I said, why the F did I literally just tell Brittany Leggett that I will not be a diamond coach the next time I see her? Like, why did I just say that? So I came home from that retreat. Bertha picked me up. We were in the airport and I'm like, don't go anywhere. I need to tell you something. I'm done half-assing my business. I'm done lying on social media. I'm done not inviting. I'm done playing victim in my own sob story. I'm done not doing the things. I finally have figured out when people say, just make the decision. I used to hate that when people are like, I just made the decision and like, that's how I'm successful at this point. And you're like, well, what the fuck? Because I'm making a decision to be here and like, it's not happening. So what does that mean, right? The decision was when I got back from that retreat that I stuck to a nutrition plan. The decision was that I woke up early when it was inconvenient. The decision was that I went up on my social media and said, I'm sorry that I lied to you and I'm no longer doing that. And the vein is popping out of my head. I'm getting fired up and I'm getting hot. But so we went home a month later. Tabitha, I came home from the gym and she said, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, oh my God, she's going to kick me out of this house. And she's like, you know, I've seen you through the trials and tribulations of your life. I've seen you be in and out of this business, but for the last month, I've seen you really show up with being your true authentic self. And I want to work this business with you. So she hit diamond in the month. We started 1-star qualification. Then I didn't get to see Brittany at Summit to tell her that I was walking the stage as a 1-star. But then so that was like June-ish, we started 3-star qualification. Actually, we started 2-star and I said, I'm not going to not have my second, like my spouse's account to diamond. I got his account to diamond in a week. We started 3-star qualification. Then we hit at the end of September and Ashley took me to the leadership retreat in Arizona. And I gave Brittany the biggest hug and she already knew why I was hugging her because I told her the second I'd see her that I would no longer be a diamond coach. And I remember Barbie and I were sitting at the bar, shocking. And she's like, go for elite. You know, Barbie, go for it. Go for elite. And I was like, well, I have all the points, but I don't have the diamonds. And she's like, but make it happen. And so I went home and through that 4th quarter, that last day, I stayed up till midnight and I showed on social media that I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't half-assing my business and I would be the coach that would wake up early for you. And I would be the coach that would stay up late for you to help you hustle and, you know, work hard for your dreams. And we ended the year not as an elite team, but as a premier team, number 267 in the company. And it's just really pushed my business forward for this year. And I don't say that to boast or brag or anything like that. I'm telling you this because why not you? Why not you? The only reason why the coaches that we look and admire and inspire to be are the way they are and where they are in this business is because they worked really freaking hard to get there. So don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 50. You have no business to be in their chapter, period. You are your superpower and own that. Like what I remember what Kate said, Kate Schultz, turn your mess into a message. Why does it have to be the victim story always? And why do you have to keep don't not keep your blinders on, stay in your own path. And so my thing to you is, if you want to be where you want to be, right? And maybe you're not happy with where you are right now. So here's my saying to you. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. So if you're not happy with what your business is, then you have to take a long look in the mirror and say, what am I going to do about it? It's not your upline's fault that you are not where you want to be. It's not your boyfriend's fault. It's not your baby daddy's fault. None of that is the reason why you are not successful in this business. It's your fault. And I'm sorry to be so hard on you about that, but that's a tough pill that all of us has to swallow. So at the end of the day, they're just doing hard work. Top coaches are doing hard work. And so I just had my friend make this for me, and I keep this in front of my computer, and it might be backwards. And it says, are you going to let someone outwork you? And my answer is no. And yes, have I been a full-time coach for a year now? Absolutely. But do I still wake up early and stay up late to hustle with my team? Absolutely, because I know that they deserve that. So you, and this is my end, you need to show up as the coach that you want to sign up. Show up as your dream coach, and that will help you get the success that you want in this business.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I need a round of applause for everyone who went before me. That was amazing. Way to go, guys. My name's Holly. I'm a diamond coach. My coach is Nikki Whiting. I went diamond for the second time earlier this year, and I've been holding it and moving on to bigger and better goals. I'm super close to 1-star diamond. What's up, Jackie? I know you're here watching. So I just wanted to talk about a few things that helped me. Everything everyone else said, totally true. So I'm really just going to say a lot of the same things, but with a different perspective. So what helps me always is whenever I'm trying to coach one of my coaches to level up or someone to level up in their business or things like that, I always tell them that the advice I would give to someone in fitness is the exact same advice you need for yourself in coaching. So a couple of things that maybe you guys can relate to when you're talking to your customers that you can turn and look at for yourself. So the first thing is we all have those customers who are rock stars. They download the calendars, they check everything off day by day, they check in, they drink their Shakeology, they do all the things. They take their before and after photos, they take their measurements, they're locked in, ready to go, and you can trust that they're just gonna do their shit, right? Then there's the people who you sign them up, you give them all the instructions, but they maybe don't take their before and after photos, even though you told them 3 times. They don't take their measurements. They're only doing the workouts, but not looking at the nutrition plan. They're only doing part of it. And then at the end of the month, they're the ones who only have part of the success, right? So that's the same in coaching. There's people who are going to do their tracker daily. They're going to show up, do the invites, put all the work in, and they're just going to get it done consistently, and you can trust them. And then there's people who do the posting, but not the invites, or they do just the fun parts, or they do whatever they're good at, but not the scary parts, or they're not tracking themselves. So those, when you need to look at yourself and see which kind of person am I? Am I being that perfect challenger for myself and my business? Or am I being just like my challengers that I'm trying to get to follow the meal plan, or at least open it up and look at it? Like, which one are you? So when I got aligned and I started being more like the challengers that I wanted and the people that I'm trying to coach, and I start following the instructions we have as a coach the same way they follow instructions as fitness, that helped me. So another thing is consistency. So we have our tracker, we have the bod groups now. So there's people who will show up. They'll come to, they'll check in every day. They'll be in the app. They're going to like and comment on others people's posts. They're going to be supportive, and they're just always there so you can see what they're doing. And then there's people who you have to check in on because you haven't seen them check in 3 days or 3 weeks, and you don't know what they're up to, and they're not answering your messages, and you don't know where they're at. And that's the same with coaching too. Are you doing your tracker? Are you showing up in your team pages? Are you getting on your coach's radar and letting them know where you're at and where you want to be? Or are you hiding in the weeds and not doing anything until someone comes for you? We all probably have enough customers that there's some that fall through the cracks. Are you letting yourself be one of those coaches who can fall through the cracks? Or are you making your presence known, and are you showing up, and are you asking for help? There's always people that let you know that they need your help in fitness, And you need to be that for your upline and let them know when you need help, or you need to be showing up and doing the things and being part of the team. And then the last one I wanted to talk about is fear. I know for a long time I was stuck on fear. I like probably had, I don't know how many calls with Nikki, like, help me put my head around how I'm going to handle this big team. How am I going to do all these things that I'm already struggling with a small team? And I relate that to the people that we're coaching who are like, I can't do that workout program. There's pull-ups in it. I can't do a pull-up. I can't do a push-up on my feet. There's no way I can do that. And what would you tell them? You would tell them, okay, it's cool. We're going to start on your knees, modify, follow the modifier. Maybe try a few on your feet. See how strong you can get. Eventually, you'll be able to do push-ups from your feet. Same with pull-ups. You're going to say, okay, start with the band. And then we have this amazing pull-up assist that you can use. And eventually, someday, maybe you're going to try a full pull-up. But it doesn't mean you have to be able to do it right now. And that's one thing that I really had to understand, too, was I was really hung up on what I didn't think I could handle as a high-level coach. But I don't need to know how to do those things yet to get to Diamond. I don't need to know how to be a superstar coach if I have 20 coaches under me. I don't need to know how to handle 100. I'll figure that out as I go. I'm going to get stronger as I have 10, 15, 20 coaches. I'm going to get better at all the things. And eventually I'm going to be able to do the things that superstars can do. So that's one thing too. I always remember, if I'm getting hung up on fear, what would I be telling someone who's afraid to start their first program, or thinks they're going to fail, or thinks they're not in shape enough to even start working out? So those are my 3 tips. So just to kind of recap, are you showing up and making your presence known? Are you tracking your things and doing things daily, just like you would want your ideal challengers to? Are you doing all of the things, or are you picking and choosing them? And are you letting fear hold you back, or are you starting where you're at and learning how to get better? So thanks, guys. I think now there's some time for questions. Anyone?
You guys did amazing. Like, this call was fire. And I know, like, behind the scenes, we were all like, oh my gosh, they are just, you guys, all of you, like, you just, if you guys are not lit up after this call, like, I don't know what's going to make you be lit up, because I'm so proud of you guys, and I'm speaking for all of us. Yeah, you nailed it. You guys did amazing. So thank you so much for taking the time out to share with our team. Guys, we were maxed out this whole time. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't see any questions, but you guys, the chat is blowing up with, you know, you did amazing. Great. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So have a great night, everybody, and make sure you catch the recording in the Slay Squad meeting room. Bye, guys.